चीज़ें सीखने को मिलेंगी। और अगर आपको मेरी वीडियोस अच्छी लगती है तो प्लीज़ आप मेरे चैनल को लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन पर ज़रूर क्लिक करें और देखते रहें हरसिमरनजीत सिंह मैजिस्टर। हंसते रहें, मुस्कुराते रहें और देखते रहें हरसिमरनजीत सिंह मैजिस्टर। आज हम दोस्तों कुछ नया सीखेंगे। Agenda to states in part of Schedule 1. Shema, please supplement the states in part of Schedule 1. The Union Territories. Administration of Union Territories. Creation of local legislature of Council of Ministers or board for certain Union Territories. Special provision with respect to Delhi. Provision in the case failure to constitutional machinery, Union Territories, creation of local legislature or council of minister of board and certain military and body provision in case of failure constitutional machinery legislature of the president to make a regulation for certain Union Territories. High courts for Union Territories for definition grounds for the constitution of the Panchayat Panchayat. Novel is Chagi, the composition of Panchayats, reservation of seats, duration of Panchayats, disqualification of 4 members, duration of Panchayat, disqualification of membership. Power, authority, responsibility of Panchayat, power imposed taxes, funds of Panchayats, constitution of audit of Panchayats, election of the Panchayats, application to Union Territories, not to certain areas, bar interference of post election of the Panchayat. अगर 9वें डिवीजन पंचायत आप 7वें सेक्टर ਵਿੱਚ यूनियन टेरिटरीज आ गया 100 हो गया 100 तक कर गए कंप्लीट ਆਪਾਂ फिर आ गया म्यूनसिपैलिटी आ गया ਇਹ ਆ ਗਿਆ 9A ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ म्यूनसिपैलिटी डेफिनेशन हो गया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ म्यूनसिपैलिटी हो गया कंपोजिशन ऑफ म्यूनसिपैलिटीज हो गया ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ कंपोजिशन ऑफ वार्ड कमिटीज एक्स्ट्रा रिजर्वेशन ऑफ सीट्स हो गया ड्यूरेशन ऑफ मल्टीपल एक्सेट्रा हो गया डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफ मेंबरशिप पावर अथॉरिटी एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी म्यूनसिपैलिटी is a power to impose taxes by the funds of the municipalities. Finance Commission हो गया audit of the municipalities election of municipalities application of unit taxes part not to apply certain areas committing to the district planning committee for metropolitan planning continuous existing laws municipalities but interference by courts in electoral matters. हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स किमें हो सारे और घर परिवार सब वधिया फ्रेंड्स प्लीज़ तुसीं मेरे चैनल ਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰੋ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਪਰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ फ्रेंड्स ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਬਣਾਓ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਬਿਲਡ ਕਰੋ definition constitution of municipalities composition of municipalities constitution of composition of water committee regulation of trees duration of municipalities qualification power of affairs responsibilities finance commission audit council of audit of council of municipalities election of municipalities application to union territories part not to apply certain areas ना पता हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स प्लीज़ तुम मेरे चैनल लाइक करो सब्सक्राइब करो बेल आइकन पर क्लिक करो कमेटी इलेक्शन पार्ट नो को पाई सकते हैं एरियाज कमेटी डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लानिंग कमेटी फॉर मेट्रोपॉलिटन प्लानिंग कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन मल्टी प्लानिंग डेफिनेशन कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी election of members of board number of terms and number of board officers supersession audit of accounts of cooperatives convening the general body getting right to member to get the terms of the financial penalties of application to multi-state cooperative societies. Breaking into union territories in Korea existing Hagyaga the schedule and tribal areas. Schedule and tribal areas. Administration schedule areas and tribal areas for mostly autonomous state comprising certain tribal areas in Assam and certain of local legislature for of council minister or board therefore. फिर आ गया relation between the union and the states legislative relation 11 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਿਆ उसके which किया था शुरू में tribal areas and the law made by parliament by the legislative state must be factor of laws made by parliament and the legislature of states by the provision with the respect of goods and service tax power the parliament to provide establishment of certain judiciary legislation power parliament legislation matters in the state legislative power to parliament legislature respect to any matter established proclamation emergency creation and constitution within the law parliament and the power of parliament and legislature to or more states consent to more states and adoption of legislation of any state requirements as a recommendation social system private as usually it one from to the recommendation the previous section to be regarded as matter of procedure only फिर आगे anti-constitutional relations obligation of states and unions control the union over a state in certain cases assistance to state development are unenforced for the courts of the union power to the union control power to arm for states jurisdiction of the union in the relation of two criteria set to India Public Acts reports judicial proceeding adjudication dispute relating to water at the state rivers and river states administrative relations रहेंगे फिर आगे इंटरप्रिटेशन आगे आ गया फाइनेंस प्रॉपर्टी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स एंड सूट्स एज भी आ गया फाइनेंस प्रॉपर्टी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स एंड सूट इंटरप्रिटेशन टैक्सेस नॉट इम्पोज्ड बाय द अथॉरिटी ऑफ लॉ कंसोलिडेटेड फंड्स एंड पब्लिक accounts of India of the states contingency funds duties received by the union collected appropriately by states omitted taxes levied and collected by the union but assigned to the state levy and collection of goods and services interest taxes levied and distributed between the union and the states surcharge taxes which taxes levied distributed the union and the states हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स प्लीज़ मेरे चैनल को लाइक करो सब्सक्राइब करो तो बेल आइकन पे जरूर क्लिक करो तो तुसी भी अपने अपने यूट्यूब चैनल बनाओ कि उन्होंने भी बिल्ड करो ग्रांट्स टू न्यू ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट ड्यूटी ऑन जूट एंड जूट प्रोडक्ट्स टैक्सेशन इन स्टेट आर इंटरेस्टेड grants from the union certain states taxes on confection trades or agricultural states participate agricultural states participate in the certain financial net calculation net purchase is a goods and service tax council calculation of net purchases as a goods and service tax council finance commission recommendation of the finance commission expenditure derivable by the union or the state of its revenue. Custody, record consolidated funds, contingency funds, and money credit for public accounts, custody of suitors, deposits, and other received by public servants, costs, exemption of property unit from state taxation restriction, acquisition tax, purchase of goods tax, exemption of tax of electricity, exemption from taxation by state respect of water or electricity in certain cases. Exemption of property income in the state union taxation just adjustment in respect to certain expenses and pension annual payment of certain Deva Swam funds. Legacy finance आ गया borrowing by the government of India borrowing by state property contract right requiring consolidation with the title Waters Continental Shelf and suit of proceedings. Person not to be deprived of property, save the authority of law, freedom of trade, commerce, intercourse, power of parliament impose restriction on trade committee, commerce and intercourse. Economic trade, commerce, intercourse between the territory of India. Restriction on trade, commerce, intercourse. Saving existing laws not providing for state monopolies, power of certain states in Part B of Schedule 1 to impose restriction on trade or commerce, appointment of authority for carrying out the purpose of Article 6, interpretation, recruitment, condition of service, person serving the union, service under the union and the states. ਹਾਂਜੀ फ्रेंड्स, ਭਰਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਬਣਾਓ ਭਰਾ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰੋ, ਬਿਲਡ ਕਰੋ। Tenure or office of person serving the union of forest is massive removal or reduction in rank of person employed in civil service under the union service protection of certain services, public service commission for the union and for the states. Public service commission appointment and term of office for member, removal and suspension of member of public service, power to make regulations, commission of service of member and staff of the commission, prohibition at the holding of office by member of commission on seizing to be such members, function of public service commission, power to extend function of public service commission, expenses of public service commission, reports of public service commission. Public service commission आ गया, पहला सीगा सर्विस एंड रेवेन्यू एंड स्टेट्स, ਹੁਣ आ गया पब्लिक सर्विस एंड कमीशन। ट्रिब्यूनल आ गया, ट्रिब्यूनल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ट्रिब्यूनल फॉर अदर मैटर्स है, सुप्रीमेंटेंट एक्सट्रैक्शन, इलेक्शन आ गया है भाई, इलेक्शन आ गया पीछे ये नहीं है इलेक्शन, ठीक है। सुप्रीमेंटेंट एक्शन एंड कंट्रोल ऑफ इलेक्शन, इलेक्शन कमीशन, नो पर्सन to be eligible for inclusion into the claimant in a special electoral roll on grounds on religion, race, caste or sex. Election of House of the People, election of the House of the People of the Legislative Assembly of the State to be on the basis of the suffrage, power of Parliament to make provision in respect of the legislature. हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स, प्लीज़ मेरे चैनल को लाइक करो, सब्सक्राइब करो तो बेल आइकन पर जरूर क्लिक करो। किवें हो सारे, और घर परिवार कितना सब? जून दी छुट्टियां जापियां ने, कितने घूमन जा रहे भरा? इंटरफेरेंस बाय द electoral measures, bar to interference by the courts, measures special provision to the election of parliament in the case when special provision relating ये आ गया इलेक्शन, हूँ आ गया 6वां, आ गया 6वां। पहला सीगा पार्ट 14वां, फिर आ गया 15वां, फिर पार्ट आ गया 6वां, चैप्टर आ गया ट्रिब्यूनल इलेक्शन, फिर आ गया 6वें दे स्पेशल प्रिंसिपल रिलेटिंग टू सर्टेन क्लासेस, reservation of seat for certain classes and certain tribes in the House of the People, reservation of seat for women in the House of the People, representation of Anglo-Indian community in the House of the People, reservation of seat for scheduled classes in the legislative assemblies, reservation for women in the assemblies. representation of identity to intellectual disability, language of special ability, name of the conference because the service of post. She also provided for under community in certain services. National Commission for Security National Organization control of the responsibility. The Commission of Security Commission that was 16वें जो विचार है फिर आ गया 17 फ्यूचर लैंग्वेज फ्यूचर लैंग्वेज कम्युनिकेशन कम्युनिटी regional language and one state and another order between state and the union. Special provisions relating to language spoken by the section of the population of the state. Language of the Supreme Court and High Court is language of the High Court and Court. Actually, etc. Language of the standard which special provisions for actually translated to language. Language we use to special directives आ गया language we use with the basic reasons facility instruction of mother tongue facility to for instruction in mother tongue in language stage special for हाँ जी किमें हो सारे भरा वधिया हो तो ब्रदर हम जून दी छुट्टियां चल रही ने किधर घूमने की सलाह बनी है फिर कितने कितने घूमने जा रहे भरा फिर हम जिन्हों के पेपर ने पेपर की तैयारी करोगा तो जोड़े फ्री ने घूमन घामन जाओगे तो बस वधिया माहौल आगा पर ध्यान नाल जाओ जिते सही सलामत जाके सही सलामत वापस आओ क्योंकि अपनी जिम्मेवारियों समझो अपना इंजॉय भी जरूरी है जिम्मेवारियाँ भी जरूरी नहीं है प्रोक्लेमेशन ऑफ एमरजेंसी प्रोक्लेमेशन ऑफ एमरजेंसी प्रोविजन एमरजेंसी प्रोविजन आ गया हूँ 18 application of provision relating to this operation while proclamation of emergency is in operation. Duty of the union to protect state against external aggression and internal disturbance. भरा ने लाइक किया बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद भरा रहा छोटा ब्रदर बहुत बहुत थैंक यू कि तुम अपने चैनल बनाओ तो हौली हौली उन्होंने गेन करते जाओ बाकी परमात्मा हाथ provision in the case of federal constitution between ministry exercise of legislative power under proclamation issue ਹੁਣ ਜੂਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਛੁੱਟੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਆ ਦੋਸਤੋ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੂਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਛੁੱਟੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਜੂਨ ਦੀਆਂ ਛੁੱਟੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਨਵੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਫੋਨ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਪਾਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਫੋਨ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਵੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖੋ ਕਿਤੇ ਘੁੰਮਣ ਫਿਰਨ ਵੀ ਜਾਓ provision as to financial emergency proclamation of emergency to provision relating to the reservation of definition while the proclamation of emergency is in operation. Duty of the unit to protect the state against external aggression and international disturbance. Provision in case of the constitution between international power to under proclamation is issued under Article 326 of provision of Article 19. During emergency suspension of the enforcement of the right conferred by Part 3 during emergency. Miscellaneous आ गया 8th 9th के बीच आ गया पार्ट miscellaneous protection and government recognition granted to leaders leaders here to seize and kill the purposes to be abolished. Special provision as to major force as to major force and arrow games as the field of the comparison definition interpretation. हाँ जी मतलब थैंक यू मेरी मेरा लाइव सेशन में भरा ने होर लाइव किया थैंक यू अमेंडमेंट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन होने वाली अमेंडमेंट आ गई हमारे पावर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट टू अमेंड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन टेम्परेरी ट्रांजिशनल एंड स्पेशल in the state list as the state of water from the pipeline list. Temporary provision with respect to the state and their movement. Special with respect to the state of Maharashtra. Special provision with the respect of the state of Arunachal Pradesh for Mizoram and Sikkim, special provision with the Goa, special provision with the respect of state of Karnataka. Continuous enforce of existing laws and their election power of the president to adapt laws, power to president to make order in respect of person under preventive detention in the certain cases provision as to the federal court proceeding pending in federal courts before His Majesty and courts of provision of the as to the judges of high court provision as to comptroller and auditor general of the provision as to public service commission special provision to duration of Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly. हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स प्लीज मेरे चैनल को लाइक करो सब्सक्राइब करो शॉर्ट टाइटल आगे करो शॉर्ट टाइटल हिंदी एंड प्लीज हिंदी को मतलब करना प्लीज provision to the president and governors of state party, the speaker and the deputy speaker of the house of the people and the chairman of the deputy chairman of the council of the state and the speaker and the deputy speaker of the legislative assembly and the chairman and the deputy chairman to the legislative council of a state part B. Provision as to the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court Part E. Provision of the Comptroller and the Auditor General. Auditor General as to the judges of the Supreme Court, Comptroller and affirmation. Allowation of the seat in the Council of Chiefs, scheduled by provision of the state administration and control of the scheduled areas and scheduled tribes, part general administration and the control of the scheduled areas and scheduled tribes policy. Division commercial social media and appeal. हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स के सारे तो मेरे वीडियो मेरे लाइव सेशन वीडियो का देन प्लीज़ मेरे चैनल को लाइक करो सब्सक्राइब करो हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स, किमें सारे आई होप तुम सारे वधिया हो। कोई गेम खेलते हैं दोस्तों। हाँ जी, आई गेम खेलिए फिर। एक मिनट, आइज क्लोज करो। यस मसा करिए 50 वर्ष के एक और बोतल डाले It 100 times it take call lagi sih. Ini kita banyak kali 200 pakai ya. हाँ जी फ्रेंड्स, प्लीज़ आप मेरे चैनल को लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन पर जरूर क्लिक करें। और अब जून चल रहा है फ्रेंड्स, सभी को छुट्टियां हो रही हैं, सारे छुट्टियां हो रही हैं। लाइट हो गई चली, वाईफाई हो गया बंद।